everybody, this is Eric.
And this is John.
And this is our channel, Enjoy the Bourbon. So in today's video, we're gonna actually open up this bottle of Four Roses. This is actually one that I've never tried before. I think it's fairly new. It's called Small Batch Select. So as I open this up, John's gonna give you a little bit more history on Four Roses.
Yeah, we actually went to the Four Roses distillery. It was the first distillery I ever went to. But at the time, the distillery was actually closed, wasn't it?
Yeah, the tours.
So the tour was closed, but we went in and sampled there. There's a story behind the Four Roses. I can't remember the story.
Some with a lady.
Eric remembers. But it was interesting. I enjoyed Four Roses. We're going to try it out here and see how this goes.
So again, this is the Small Batch Select. We were reading a little bit about it on the bottle. And what they've done is they have around 10 flavor builds, or mash builds, if you will, that they distill their bourbon from. And so what this has done, it's a small batch. They've blended 6 of their different mash builds together to get this perfected small batch.
You ready to do it, Eric?
All right, let's try this.
All right.
It's spicier than I expected.
It's a little spicy, yeah.
Maybe I need another sip.
Yeah.
You know, cleanse the palate, let that go down. And it's good though. It does definitely have that classic Four Roses flavor profile in there. John and I are not experts. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out the slight notes of cinnamon or cherry. I enjoy bourbon, and I don't want to make it overcomplicated for you, for me. You know, yes, I will try, and I've had all of these bourbons on this table here. And actually, it's something that maybe it would be fun. Maybe we should try all these, John, and then we'll rank them. We have 5 different distilleries, 6 different bottles here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, we've got probably one of our favorites, the Weller, right? Which comes from Buffalo Trace. And so we also have the actual Buffalo Trace.
That's right.
Which, believe it or not, comes from the distillery Buffalo Trace. If you didn't guess.
Yeah. And then we have Wild Turkey. And actually, these 3 distilleries are they're practically around the corner from each other. So you easily could go and visit all 3 of these in one afternoon. We couldn't make it to Wild Turkey, not because we had too much bourbon, not because we didn't know where it was, but they were actually filming with Matthew McConaughey that weekend. So the entire distillery was shut down. And if you don't know, they just came out a few months ago with a new blend, and it's called Long Branch. We have yet to try that, so maybe on a future video we'll give that one a try.
All right. So we've got Maker's Mark, which the iconic bottle where they actually dip it in, what the hell is the red stuff, Eric?
Red wax. I don't know.
It's red wax.
Much,
they dip it down in red wax, and then you'll see it on every bottle is hand dipped into the red wax.
That's right.
It's kind of their trademark.
Yeah, and
we've got Maker's Mark 46.
Yep, that's one of their higher end brands. And then last but not least is Elijah Craig. This actually comes from the Evan Williams distillery. So it's family owned, one of the I think longest running distilleries as well. Probably about 20-30 years ago, they actually had a terrible fire and a lot of their warehouses burned. So I actually would like to make it out to this distillery and do a tour, do some sampling, and maybe we'll take you guys along with us. All right, so with that, now that we've tried Four Roses, we're gonna leave that one right here, and I'm gonna finish my little glass that I have left in here.
Good job, Eric.
We're gonna rank these now. Now, again, we're not professionals. This is just 2 guys' opinion. You know, we're out camping this weekend. We thought it'd be kind of fun, you know, something to do, right? Okay, so which one do you want to try next? And then we're going to rank them, and then that way you'll know, hey, if you're at the liquor store, there are so many out there. There are so many bourbons that I haven't even tried yet, that, you know, maybe we'll continue to do something like this and help for you if you're new to bourbon. Maybe we'll give you a little bit of insight into, you know, some of the flavors that you might enjoy, and maybe even a better video on how to drink bourbon.
So why don't we take Four Roses against Elijah Craig?
All right.
Well, then we'll see who's in the lead.
All right.
Right.
So
against each other.
So this is an Elijah Craig small batch as well. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon. I actually think All of these are Kentucky straight bourbons. Tons of bourbons are coming out on the market. There's a lot across the United States. Fun fact, bourbon does not have to be made in Kentucky to be considered a bourbon. So that is, something that might even get you in a little bit of an argument with somebody. Everything here is from Kentucky, though. We live across the river from Kentucky, so for us, this is the bourbon we choose. I've had plenty of other bourbons. I'd even say one of the ones that I would recommend if you're at the store is one called Hudson Baby. It's out of New York, of all places, and there's a lot of history around that one, so you should try that one out. All right, Elijah Craig small batch. We're gonna do small pours because I don't know about you, but I'm just gonna do small pours.
Okay.
Just enough to wet the whistle.
Wet in the whistle.
I think that's what they used to say. All right,
You ready?
cheers. All right, Elijah Craig small batch.
Elijah Craig small batch showdown.
All right, it has a cinnamon smell to it.
Where are you at, Eric?
Okay, I didn't think this was going to happen, but I think it's smoother than the Four Roses.
I would agree. I think Four Roses is coming back.
Okay, that's
And
actually
Elijah Craig's
surprising.
coming forward.
That is surprising to me right now.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate that at all.
Four Roses is coming back. Elijah Craig's coming forward.
All right, so this one it is smoother. It's the cinnamon. You can smell it. It doesn't hit you. It actually you'll find some of the flavor profiles that people tend to talk about are vanilla, cherry, cinnamon, mint. Even sometimes people will have that in there. So all right, what's next on the list?
Wild Turkey. And if you wanted a picture of a giant Wild Turkey on your bourbon, Wild Turkey is definitely the bourbon that you would want to pursue.
That's true. Okay, so
Wild Turkey showdown. Elijah Craig and Four Roses against Wild Turkey. Elijah Craig is in the lead. Four Roses behind it. Let's get this Wild Turkey going.
All right. So as John's pouring this small bottle, my parents actually have a cabin in Kentucky, and it's one of those things where people talk about wild turkeys, this and that. If you've never seen I guess it's a flock of wild turkeys. I'm sure there's another term for that. Maybe we'll look that up and put that in the description below. But they actually look. I mean, not that they would misrepresent it, but they really look just like this label here. Their bodies, though, are very scrawny. They're very lean birds, unlike the turkeys that maybe you enjoy at Thanksgiving.
So I think Wild Turkey is probably one of the most underrated bourbons that I've tried so far, because I think, to me, it almost looks like this is the cheap bourbon. Wild Turkey, people kind of think of it as the Budweiser of bourbon, but it's actually pretty good. I was surprised how much I like Wild Turkey 101. I'm going to give it a try here.
All right, so I just tried it, so I'll give you my first impressions of this. So I find Wild Turkey to be closer to, almost closer to a Scotch. I definitely pick up the charcoal flavors in Wild Turkey every time I drink it. That's the first thing I taste. That's not a bad thing. It's smoky. It pairs well. If you are a cigar smoker, I would say that this probably balances it very nicely. I don't usually smoke cigars, have in the past. So it's just one of those things where it is definitely a go-to. I usually have something like Wild Turkey 101 in my cupboard. In case you're starting to feel a little bit under the weather, you take a little nip from the bottle, and then the next morning you wake up and you feel just fine.
It'll get you drunk.
So
that's what I say.
This is tough.
So we got Elijah Craig in the lead versus Four Roses. Where's the Wild Turkey stacking up, Eric?
I'm going to say it's tied for Four Roses at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Tied? Okay.
I think that maybe one of these will knock somewhere in between, and maybe one of those will move up and one of them will move down.
Elijah Craig, I would agree, is still in the lead. I don't know what to think between Four Roses and Wild Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next we're gonna try Buffalo Trace. So this is Frankfort, Kentucky, or just around there. Which, funny joke, John. How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Louisville or Louisville?
Louisville?
Frankfort, John. Frankfurt is the capital of Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had a teacher growing up actually, and that was one of the jokes that they taught us in 6th grade. And to be honest, it's one of those dad jokes. I appreciate dad jokes.
Here we go, Buffalo Trace, and it beat out Elijah Craig.
All right, so just on smell, I think it beats out Wild Turkey. Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Okay, that's split those two for me.
Yeah, I think it beats Wild Turkey.
Yeah, I do too. But I think it's behind the Four Roses.
Yeah, I would agree.
We might have to try that Four Roses again. Let's get through these.
So Elijah Craig, Four Roses, Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey is our.
Yeah.
Is our. Let's do it so they can see it.
Okay. Oh,
Four Roses,
perfect.
Elijah Craig.
All right. The last two we have. You want to hold that one up? We have Maker's Mark 46, and then what's that one there?
Weller.
Antique 107. I'm just going to give you a little foreshadowing here. That's going to be my winner. I just know it.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me finish this. All right, which one do you want to do? Weller or do you want to do Makers? Let's do Weller.
Let's do Weller,
okay. So this is actually my first bottle of Weller Antique. I happened to go into a local liquor store, and I don't know about where you live, but where we live in Ohio, liquor store laws are different in every state. Ohio distributes usually on Tuesdays out to liquor stores. So maybe I shouldn't have said that to the Ohioans watching, because now I'm not going to be able to find as many bourbons. But if you go to the liquor store on Tuesdays, you tend to find some of the more rare bourbons out there. Like Eagle Rare, some of them, they'll only get 4 or 5 bottles. Sometimes they do lotteries. Sometimes it's just first people to show up. You will not find a lot of hard to find bourbons on the shelf. You will actually have to ask somebody. Don't be shy. Just say, hey, I'm looking for a rare bourbon. What bourbons do you have in stock that aren't on the shelf? Don't even list it, just because they may have something that you're not even thinking of. But this one happened to be on the floor behind the lady at the checkout, and I saw it. She said they only had 2 bottles, and she couldn't believe that they still had it, because it was actually a Thursday when I happened to go in there. So I bought one, and they only let me buy one. So I called my dad. He lives down the street. He wasn't home, so I had already driven home. So my brother actually ran up and got him a bottle. So once I finish this, I'll be sure to hit up my dad.
The trick there, Eric, is like a lot of those, the Weller, the Eagle Rare, is going to be hard to get a hold of. You want to make friends with the liquor store person, and give them compliments and tell them, hey, give me a call when that Eagle Rare gets in.
I've done that before.
And that's the trick.
Yeah, actually, Kroger's based out of Cincinnati. We're close to Cincinnati. And so I actually have gone to our local Kroger liquor store, and I've asked them, hey, this was 2 years ago. So I can't guarantee that this will happen for you. It's definitely going to depend on the person behind the counter. But they actually took my name down, and when they got their shipment in of Blanton's, they called me. I got a call, and they said, yes, we got a shipment in, and I was actually shocked. I went in there, and they had my bottle behind the counter with my name on it, reserved. Shocked. I don't know if they still do that today. I was actually lucky enough, though, or my friend was, I should say. I called him or texted him, and he was at work, and I said, on your way home, you better stop. She said they still had them in stock, and they were just behind the counter. So again, don't be shy. Make friends with your local liquor store clerk. Dividends will be paid.
Bring them donuts, do something.
All right, so this is Weller Antique.
Rainbows and sunshine.
Full stop. Full stop. Okay. I said I wasn't going to tell you flavor profiles. The vanilla with spice comes out in this, and it's thicker. It's kind of weird. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this term, and some people will cringe. It has a velvety mouth feel. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to describe it. It's thicker. Like it coats your mouth. It's not like all of those other ones. Delicious. I would drink any of them. We bought all of these. These are bourbons that we drink on a regular.
It bites you back.
This is going to be dangerous. I mean, like, I've had this bottle for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. It's dangerous.
You bite it and it bites you back.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay.
It's good.
So,
that's going.
if I had a light to shine on that would be what would be happening right now.
Maker's Mark 46.
Okay. So this is definitely number one. And okay, that's where we're at, right? Okay, so let's just do a quick recap. Weller is currently at number one. Elijah Craig's Small Batch is at number two. Four Roses Small Batch Select, which is a newer bourbon. Great bottle. It looks awesome. If you were giving this as a gift, I can give you my contact information. I'd happily take another bottle of this. Buffalo Trace is shockingly in fourth, which, I mean, I love Buffalo Trace. I love their products, so I'm actually shocked that some of these have beaten them out. Wild Turkey, again, it's just, for me, I think it's the charcoal. It's almost a little bit more like Scotch.
I don't think Wild Turkey's bad. Like, it's not. Like, I think it kind of has a bad reputation or something, but I would say it's the most underrated. For the price, I mean, you get, like, I think I paid $20 for this.
Easy. I always have Wild Turkey in my cupboard,
right,
like always. So, like, this is not an inclusive list of bourbon by any means. All right.
So
hold on, I'm gonna take this list.
We're gonna dip the Maker's Mark
in
down.
the comments. I don't want to hear that we're not rinsing this out. Trust me, you try this. You can taste the difference in every bourbon. I don't need to rinse this out. We're good.
Okay, Eric. There you go.
Now, I'll tell you, the first time that I had Maker's 46, we were actually at a neighborhood party. And it was one of those, I live in a neighborhood. It's very diverse and everything that you can imagine. So, yes, that's good. So it was almost like a progressive party where you started at one person's house and they had hors d'oeuvres and whatnot. And we happened to go over to somebody who I actually worked with at the time. And he's a few years older than me, so his kids were in college. And he said, I'm going to make everyone a Manhattan who would like one. And he brought this bottle out. And I had never had it. I liked Manhattans. They're not my go-to. If I was going to mix a bourbon, I'm going to make an old-fashioned. That's the orange, the citrus, it's bright, it's fresh. That's my go-to. He made this with Maker's 46. And I'll tell you what, normal, just traditional Makers, it's a good bourbon. It's not my favorite, but this bottle, what do you think, John? Where is it?
It smells good.
Okay.
It smells good.
Oh, have you not tried it? Okay.
Dip it. I know that.
Maybe on a future video, we'll take a tour and we'll show you guys a little bit more about how they bottle their bourbon. And my mom and dad have actually taken the tour, and for the right price, you can actually buy your own bottle and you can dip your own, and then you have a commemorative bottle. My mom and dad did it, and my aunt was with them, and my aunt is not a bourbon drinker, and she still has her bottle, and I want to say that was...
I think they win the award for the best bottle.
I would agree.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the most...
They would be number one in best bottle.
Okay, this has a fruitier flavor.
You ready to
Smell.
go?
Yeah, okay.
I don't think it's number one. Where are you thinking, Eric?
I did not expect this, but I think Elijah Craig's Special Batch is 2, and I think that's 3.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
I almost want to try the Four Roses again, because that's so distant in my memory.
You need to finish that.
All right, hold on.
All right.
Because that might make me change this, but
pour it up, son.
All right. In addition to this new bottle, it says it's non-chilled filtered.
I don't know what that means.
Me either.
But it sounds great.
Did you hear that? Hold on.
I like Guns N' Roses.
Ready?
Yes.
That sound never gets old. All right, we're ending with Four Roses. This is such a good smell.
All right.
No, that's not. This is Four Roses.
Yeah.
You're wrong distillery. All right, currently this is at number 4.
Down the hatch.
I think it's where it needs to be.
I would agree.
It's these have a smoothness to them that is missing from this.
Yes.
It's a good bourbon. It's totally drinkable. Again, Father's Day, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you celebrate, this right here, I mean, anybody would be happy. The marketing on this, the solid wood top with a cork, you can't go wrong. How much did we pay for that? I don't remember.
Know. But I think we got the order down there.
Okay. Okay. This was in Ohio, which is going to be different everywhere. This was $50.55. Do you remember what you paid for Elijah?
I don't.
25, I think, or 30.
Really?
This is like 45. We don't know, so sorry. Buffalo Trace was 25 or 29, like $30. And you said 29?
$20.
This was like 29 or so. So, a spread of like $30 or so. Again, if you're on a budget, definitely, like this Buffalo Trace is definitely going to serve you well. Hey guys, all right. So with all of this said and done, I'm just going to go through real quick the winner for our bourbon tasting today. And again, we're camping. This is just stuff that we had in our cupboards or that we picked up at the liquor store on the way up here. But it is currently Weller Antique 107. It is absolutely delicious. The mouthfeel is amazing. The flavor profile unbeatable currently with what we have sampled here. Second runner-up is Elijah Craig.
I'm surprised by this.
This one is a shock to us because
this is like
yes,
it's like a silent ninja.
I would agree.
Of bourbon, yes.
Yeah, so it's totally, I would say, very inexpensive compared to like a higher end bourbon. This is actually very easily accessible as well. Like almost every time you go to a liquor store, you are going to find this bourbon.
So the dipping.
There you go.
Of the Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark is number 3. The rest,
Best bottle award on Maker's Mark. Yes.
The other 3, obviously, awesome bourbons. I'd enjoy any of these as a gift myself. We're going to continue to enjoy these the rest of over the next few months, I would say.
This is the non-chill filtered Four Roses, which we can't remember why it's called Four Roses, but there's some story behind that. Okay.
We will go on another another Four Roses distillery tour.
We went there.
And we will find that answer out for you. So stay tuned. And if you liked and enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit like. We really appreciate that. So with that, hey, everybody, remember, enjoy the bourbon.